What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Webb Street Podcast with Nock and Chris.
How's it going, folks?
Sponsored by Topo Chico Hard Seltzer. Nock, how you doing?
I am doing phenomenal. I'm glad to be back on the air. It's been a while.
Yep. So first of all, I guess before we do anything, we should probably talk about the elephant in the room. What happened last week?
Yep.
We messed up.
Touchy subject.
Hey, hand up. We messed up. That's on us. Nock, you want to discuss what happened a little bit?
I don't even want to blame us as much because there's nothing we could have known. My computer was running out of space, and so in the middle of the podcast, it kind of stopped recording, but we still had the file, so we were like, okay, we're good to go. We kept recording onwards. Later, it turns out something went wrong. Couldn't even use the file at all, so we only had half a podcast. So we decided, let's not post half a podcast without context. So back on the air.
Yep.
Hopefully, got everything figured out.
So
if you're listening, it's fixed.
we fired that intern who was in charge of that. We learned our lesson, and we're moving forward. So hopefully, it won't happen again. We're excited to be back. I think we're going to follow a pretty similar path the last time anyway. But so that's that explanation. Other than that, if you're watching YouTube, this is the first time you're seeing our Topo Chico flag that our producer, who I will say, I heard a couple of whispers, people wondering if it was Mott's fault about the audio issue, the file issues, since he is our tech producer. Mont, do you have anything you want to say to that?
I didn't want to say anything public because if I said anything, there would be pitchforks and torches.
Yep.
But no, this was something that I could have foreseen, but you fuck up sometimes and you just move forward.
Mont did what a high-powered exec does best. He blamed the intern, got that kid out of here, and he stays on top. So that's what we're riding with. We're happy to have him. But he bought us this flag. We paid him for it, but he found it and got it for us.
Yeah.
Actually, never mind.
He's
it was
good at
actually
his job. He would never get fired.
Rewind. Topo Chico, thanks for sending us this flag.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. It's been a great partnership with you so far. We did not purchase it ourselves.
No.
Yeah. All right. I think that explains what happened last week. We appreciate your patience. We're excited to get back with you guys. All right. Next topic. So Gambling Open. I think that's the biggest thing right now. The Webb Street Gambling Open. We've been having a lot of fun with that. So first of all, shout out to Bookie Toaster and Bring Me My Money 5.
And everyone else that tweets at us.
And everyone else that tweets at us. First of all, if you don't follow Bookie Toaster and Bring Me My Money 5, give them a follow.
But after you follow us.
Well, sure. They probably already do. If they're, maybe not.
We only have how many followers? 37?
No, we have 80 followers.
Oh.
Yeah. Or something like that. Maybe 70.
Almost a triple digit.
But anyway, so
Stats guy Mark. Oh, we keep forgetting to forgetting to tell him when we're doing episodes.
We
need a manager. If anyone wants to be our manager to help us coordinate, let us know.
Yeah, that's our bad again, Mark. We really do want to have you here. I don't know why we just forget to text you every time. But anyway, so the Gambling Open's going well. Nock, do you have the stats handy? I think I have the stats handy.
I can pull them up if you can distract.
Yeah, so we've actually, to my surprise, all four of us are doing really well. We're doing
some better than
Crisp
others.
and Nock are doing better than they did last year, but Nock's pulling up the stats now.
Yep.
The last place is 2 games over 500, which is me, but 2 games over 500 and only down 1 unit, which for last place I think is actually pretty impressive for a group of 4.
Yep. So of the 4 we track, Crisp is in 4th with 10-8, so 10 wins, 8 losses, no pushes, ironically for the group.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny, but you have yourself as -1 unit because you're 0 for 3 on your locks, but 10 of 8 over 500 still good. I don't know if people remember from last year, but we did a whole 17-week season and we couldn't even touch 500. So good year. Bookie Toaster is also at 10-8, but he's up 3 units because he's 2-1 in his locks. So good job, Bookie Toaster. Now we start to get to the big guns here. Nock is 11-7, up 3 units, 1-2 in my locks, but we're turning that around now. I figured out the secret sauce. And then no one's ever going to catch Bring Me My Money 5. He's just too good at this. He's 12-6, up 9 units, 3-0 in his locks. So
yeah, Bring Me My Money 5. We really should shout him out. He's on an unbelievable run, 9 units up in 3 weeks of playing. So good for him. We'll see if he keeps it up. I'll be interested to see. He is, I would say, I'm not even kidding, probably the best gambler that I know.
I mean, he rolled up to our podcast with a spreadsheet that was
Right.
thousands of columns long. Like, come on,
Right.
man.
Like, people joke about having like a
It's
model.
not fun when you know the answer.
People joke about having a model. Like, I don't know if he would technically call it a model, but it's the closest thing I've seen in person to a sports betting model. So, but anyway, yeah, follow our picks. We've been having fun. Last place does Topo Chico Mile. Shout out Tom Pearson. He's our what did we call him?
The Punisher.
We're calling him the Punisher. He's the one that's keeping track of all of our punishments
So
now.
we got a new role.
Yeah.
Punisher.
And then first place between Bookie Toaster and Bring My Money 5 becomes the esteemed gambling correspondent. Even though people didn't like that name, but that's the name I'm sticking with until someone.
We'll
tells
figure
me
it out.
better.
We got a long season ahead of us
Right.
to brainstorm some names. So if you have name ideas, tweet at us.
Yep. So picks come Saturday morning at around 10 a.m. Unless I wake up a little late or somebody's late sending them to me. But we'll see you again on
Also,
Saturday.
random people can tweet at us their
Yeah.
picks. MMA betting wizard.
Yeah,
4-8 -6 units.
MMA betting wizard 4 and 8.
Who else tweets at us?
DS Lieberner did it once, and
He sucks, though.
And
He
Mark
sucks at
Mark
his
did it
picks.
once. Also,
So does
I
Mark. He
will
went, like,
say
1-7.
we're giving MMA betting wizard a hard time. He's -6 units in the 2 weeks he's done, but I'll give him a shout out. If you like combat sports, he's really good at it. He hit I forget exactly what the odds were, but he hit a huge winner on Saturday, and I didn't tail him because I didn't trust him, but I should have. So I will shout him out. He had a huge winner that he was really proud of on Saturday.
Tepper, tweet us some picks, man. I doubt you can even scratch 500. Just knowing you and how dumb you are, no shot. But yeah, picks are going good.
Yep. All right.
We want to do the
Moving
agenda
along.
for the podcast.
Yeah,
today?
agenda for the podcast. So we're going to start with brief news. I didn't really pay attention that much this week to the news.
There's not a whole lot.
Yeah, there's not. I mean, there's stuff that we could talk about. Now I'm thinking of some more, but we'll do a little bit of sports news and pop culture news, and then we'll kind of just roll into NFL, then roll into college football.
Don't sound so depressed about it. The season's been phenomenal.
You're right. It has been fantastic. We'll roll into those two, talk about those two a little bit. I think every single week we're going to give our top 10 NFL teams and bottom 5 NFL teams, and we're going to talk about those and see how those change throughout the year. So I'm excited to do that. And then after that, we got a segment. We're going to do top 3 real or fake TV shows that we would want to live in. So we'll explain that more when we get there, but I think it'll be a fun segment.
It's a good segment, yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's it. Oh, and then we'll get to our listener questions at the end. Listener questions, we got some great questions last week when our podcast broke. We're going to get back to those listener questions, and if we got any new ones, we'll get to those this time as well.
So don't forget to follow us on Twitter, tweet at us, share the podcast. We'll give you a shout out. No one is sharing the podcast, so we keep getting the same 50 listeners every episode, which we love you guys. But
yeah, correct.
if you want to share it with your friends, that'd be cool too.
Yep. All right, Mon, anything you want to say before we go?
No, let's get into it.
All right.
I remember.
All right, so our segment,
Nice.
what we were thinking is, if you could live in a TV show, we're going to do like a little draft, so we're going to go back and forth and pick 3. But what TV show would you want to live in? And I'll give you an example, right? So I could pick, or live or be in. So I could pick Jeopardy, right? Which means I'm a contestant on Jeopardy. That doesn't mean that I'm going to beat Jeopardy James, right? This is me right now. I'm going to get smoked by anyone on Jeopardy. But it could be fun to go on that. Versus if I pick Game of Thrones, right? I'm not Jon Snow, right? I'm going out and I'm living in the Game of Thrones time period. I'm honestly probably not going to be anybody important. Like I'm going to be like, I'm either going to be dead or I'm going to be like a bread maker, whatever that's called, probably in some small village in the north. But that could be fun too, you know? You don't have to pay taxes, I don't think. Actually, you do. There's kingdoms. You pay taxes.
Do
What?
you? Did they
Probably.
pay taxes in like medieval
Yeah,
times?
I
Who
think
made
so.
up taxes?
Kings and
It's
Yeah.
probably easier to get away, though.
What did they give as taxes? Was it like you give cattle to the king, or do you give money?
Most of the time it's coin. I mean, you've heard the tale of Robin Hood, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he takes from the rich, gives to the poor.
Yeah.
Well, what does that have to do with taxes?
Well,
Well,
the whole story is that the local duke or whatever, the local lord, was just overtaxing his.
Oh, is that
his
right?
people and just taking
Alright.
all their money. And
So apparently, I didn't know the full story of Robin Hood.
yeah.
Who wants first pick? And we'll do
You
it.
take first pick.
All right, so we'll do me, then Crisp, then Mont, and then Snake back.
Yes.
All right, my first pick, Survivor.
You
I
son
like-
of a bitch.
Yeah, I mean, just phenomenal show. I would win it. The problem is they'll never put me on the show because as soon as they do my interview, they'll realize I'm smart, I'm athletic enough, and I'm not an idiot, so I would win.
That's like
so that's like
I think,
$3 million.
I think that Survivor is like the obvious best answer to this question.
Yeah.
So way to not fuck it up. You last episode we did was a great category, and you had the worst start off answer ever.
Survivor.
No, last episode, not the one that got deleted, the one that got released, where it was best beers.
Oh,
and just
yeah,
the overall
yeah.
best beers playing,
And then
playing Mario
I got
Kart.
depressed.
And then
I got depressed.
Remember that, Mon?
I remember that.
Yeah, you had a terrible performance that day.
Well, this was my category, so if I fuck this up, it's gonna be so bad.
Yeah. Good job. I'm just saying you fucked up last week. Good job this week. All right, I was obviously gonna pick Survivor. I think that was my number one. So I will go with the second best option in my eyes, which is Big Brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't actually. So do you know how to win?
Yeah, Big Brother is
You vote
less.
people out
Yeah,
every
Big
week,
Brother
right?
is less good than Survivor because, like in Survivor, you can always. Well, actually, no. Big Brother's the same thing. You can.
Yeah.
You can
But
always.
they don't have to like starve.
That you don't have to starve, but you can win like immunity challenges. I think. I don't know. I'm not a huge Big Brother fan, but I love.
But you want to be on the show.
No, but I love reality competition shows. This is my
Yeah.
favorite category of show.
Yeah.
So it's the next most popular. I'm very likable. I'm somewhat athletic. I think that I could do well in a show along those lines. Is the moral of the story here?
I think we can agree though. You and myself, we'd be horrible TV. Like we would be those characters that, like the cast members that are never showed because we're
Why?
not good TV.
What does that even mean? We have a
'Cause we're normal enough.
What is the number? Wait, what's the average
We're
podcast?
not going to
Wait,
stir.
what is the
Neither
average
one of us
podcast
is
listener?
good looking enough to like be on camera all the time.
Whoa,
And
wait,
then
hold
it's-
on. What are you talking about?
We're taking some steps back
You're right,
here.
I'll
We're
take the glasses
We're taking some steps
off.
back here.
Now I
You
just
do look
went
like
up a
you
couple
do look like a
points.
huge nerd today. I don't know what's going on.
Sorry,
But-
man. The blue light, it gets
So-
to me sometimes.
What's the average podcast? We say like the average podcast gets like 10 listeners or something
No,
stupid.
50. We average 50.
No, not our average podcast. Like there's like a stat out there that the
yes.
average podcast has
Mark
like 10
said this
listeners.
when he was on.
So
Yeah, it's below.
so
10.
therefore we are we are like 500% better than the average podcast. So therefore we are very entertaining people, and that they would show us on camera. Something anyway.
Okay.
I don't agree with your point. I'm very entertaining. I'm not going to speak for you. I'm very entertaining. I'm good looking enough.
Okay.
I would get on camera
Both
all the time.
Very handsome men, both
Thank
of you.
you.
Thanks, Mon.
There you go.
All right, go ahead, Mon. Pick yours.
So I also had Survivor as my number one, but we'll skip it, and I'll come up with my next best one, which is because I'm half Italian, is the Jersey Shore.
Oh shit! I didn't even
That
think
is a
about
great
that.
pick.
That actually might be the best one. Well, yeah, no,
is
that
it
is
though?
no, that would be incredible.
Look,
Yes.
I'm not a kind of person that likes to get thrown into drama, but I just think it would just be
Which clique would you join, right? So let's just assume you're getting thrown in additionally to the house, right? So everyone's still there.
yeah.
Like, who do you think you're like hanging out with the most? Pauly D and Vinny?
Yeah, Vinny and Pauly D probably.
Okay.
I think
Fair.
Vinny and I have not exact but very compatible personalities. I feel like I could vibe with him. You know, I feel like I could just sit down and like just chill.
That's a fun summer. That's a fun summer for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Do you think they kick you out like they did Angelina?
Depends on what I did. You know, but I feel like guys don't do that in general.
Yeah,
you know?
you're probably right. You're
Like,
probably right.
Bros don't really.
No
kick
guys
each
got
other
kicked
out.
off, so.
Yeah. So, yeah, Jersey Shore.
All right, you got another pick.
Oh right. So my second one is
Good first round though, by the way. Boys.
yeah, good first round, guys.
I would like to be a character in The Simpsons. And mainly the reason why is just because I watched it growing up, and I think it'd just be funny if I was a character on a cartoon show.
Do you think? So I've seen The Simpsons. I've seen the movie, but I haven't watched all the episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So like, where do you think you would end up? Are you gonna be like in the Simpson family, or would you be like a side
Nah,
character? Like, who's
nah.
the enemy that's the neighbor that's like a great dad?
Ned
but
Flanders.
Ned Flanders. Like, are you gonna be in Ned Flanders' family?
No, I would just be like a gimmick guy. You know how SpongeBob has the my leg, dude? In the background? Just like a dude that's in the background.
The clown. You're gonna be like the clown in The Simpsons.
Yeah, sure. Like Krusty the Clown.
Show up every couple episodes.
Something like that. Just like the gimmick guy that like just shows up every so often, or like in Family Guy, this is the chicken that Peter fights.
Okay, I like that. That's good. Every show needs that character.
Oh, of course.
They need that. That was a good answer. I like that. I like that more than your first answer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was wrong with my first answer?
No, they were both good.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, good job, Mont. I would make my second Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Because because I think that means I'd be hanging out with rich people all the time. That's as simple as I'll go.
But like, I don't see. So you're on that show, right? You're working the show. Like,
No,
you're
I'm
one
a
of
cast.
the crew members
I know.
behind the scenes.
Well,
you're not rich enough.
No, well,
You're not rich enough. How are you going to participate?
I'm
with it?
envisioning.
You're going to go
No,
to the.
actually-
I was more so thinking of it that I would just get to hang out with rich people all day and go to their parties and go on their boats.
If that's the case, that would be sick. But I don't. Think
That's
gonna
why
work
I
out for you.
picked it. That's what I'm doing.
Right, like I made the point to start that it's like, okay, you can pick to be on Jeopardy, but you're gonna get smoked by the Amodio Rodeo
No,
and Jeopardy James every week. Like, I think
No.
if you're gonna be a part of the Real Housewives, like,
If
you're the
I'm-
guy that lives in the area and like you get featured, like exactly what Mont was saying.
Yeah,
where
I
you're
get
kind of like a side
sure.
character.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure, that's
you do
fine.
something stupid, like
That's fine. If I'm once again, I said for Big Brother, I'm very likable. I think if I was featured on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills,
okay.
I would get to know the rich people and they would like me
All
and
right,
invite me on their boat.
We'll see when people are reaching out to us that have made it this far in the podcast. We'll see what they say.
I think the main
I'm sure
point
people
that I was
have
trying
an
to get
opinion.
across is just you'd just be like you'd make some like nice sly comments, some funny like.
The only
comments
reason I
about-
give you a
Also,
hard
like,
time
point
is
out the
you're gonna
irony
give me a
of
hard time on my
Fair
next
enough.
one. I just know it.
Yeah.
My second pick is the challenge. Right, same thing as Survivor essentially, except without the having to survive
I
outside.
mean, you would die. On the
I
challenge.
wouldn't die.
Yes, you would.
Like, I get where you're coming from. Like,
They would.
some of the
they
physical
would tear you to
challenges,
shreds on the
like
challenge. You
the,
couldn't do any of them.
like the what's the one where you have to run into each other?
Hall brawl.
Hall brawl. That I would, if I had to go up against Fessy, I would get murdered. Right, but I think I could be like Devin-esque. Right, Devin's not in great shape.
Devin's bigger.
I'm
than
not
you.
as funny as Devin. I'm also not as crazy as Devin, so I wouldn't be as good TV. But like, I can do a puzzle.
Do you think
I
Devin's
can
bigger
run.
than you?
What?
Do you think Devin's bigger than you?
Like stronger?
Like just
He's
just
taller
his,
than me.
just his
He's probably
stature.
5'10", and he's a little thicker.
What are you, 5'5"?
Yeah, sure, 5'5". let's go with that. So he's got a few inches on me.
Yeah, I don't know. You'd die. I love the challenge. I know that we would both.
Like, I would
fail.
have to forfeit before I could ever get into a hall brawl because I would end up worse than Kyle.
We-
Kyle
we-
broke his finger.
We would both
I would
fail
die.
miserably in 60% of the things that they do on the challenge.
You
would
want
fail
me to
miserably.
drop out of a helicopter
You would fail
into a
miserably
landing
in
spot, I would be
60%.
fine.
You would fail miserably in 60%. I would fail miserably in 70.
If
I'm
I had
giving
a
you-
good partner,
Giving you a little credit here.
like if Toya was my partner, like I think
Who?
we could Tori.
Oh, Tori.
Like we could maybe contend.
No,
You don't think?
you're crazy.
Okay.
You're crazy. Those
Okay.
guys are like, almost all those guys are like 6'4", 200 pounds.
Not Devin, not Huey.
I don't. I haven't watched this season. I don't know
Like
who the fuck who he is.
he's the gay dude that like he's from Ireland. He's like kind of funny, but he's incredibly dramatic and not good at things.
I love the challenge. You're gonna
Alright,
you're gonna
well,
die on the challenge.
That's my second pick. My last pick. Hold on, I gotta pull up my list. Those two I had off the top of my head. My last pick, I'm kind of torn. So I'll say, like, if one of you guys doesn't say it, because I don't want to spoil it, I'll mention it in honorable mentions. But I'm gonna risk it with the last one. I'm gonna go Avatar, the animated series. Right now, I'm getting thrown into the universe. There's a chance that I can't learn how to bend, right? And then I'm like the cabbage farmer, right? I'm just a side character. But on the off chance Like I could learn how to earthbend, waterbend. That would be kind of sick. So I'm gonna pick Avatar.
I respect that. How that would be a.
I'm a gambling
really cool
man.
thing.
I'm gonna gamble it. It's all about your genes, where
Respect.
you're born. Like yeah. So we'll see.
All right, my last pick will be Blue Mountain State.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That didn't even cross my mind, but that's sick.
Unrealistic expectation of college.
I didn't watch all of Blue Mountain State.
Oh,
I think I watched.
I've
It
seen
just it just makes you think that not that college wasn't fun, but it
Oh.
just makes you think that like college is like ruleless. I don't know.
The Punisher and I
Yeah.
spent an entire 48-hour period watching every episode of the seasons. Like we didn't sleep much. We just watched every episode, and we were like, "Man, why couldn't college be like this when we were in college?" We're that lame. We're that lame.
Yeah.
But it was
All
a
right,
great
Mom,
time.
bring it home.
Punisher.
My last one would be The Walking Dead.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, not because I'd want it to happen, or I just think I'd be good at it, or be good at,
Surviving?
like, surviving the
Yeah.
apocalypse.
You would survive the longest out of the three of us for sure.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's like a crazy
it
dude
could be
pick.
cool
Though.
to shoot zombies. I think
I
that would
don't-
be fun.
I don't know, man. That's a
mean-
crazy dude. That's a crazy dude.
See,
pick.
like I
He's like Arika.
It's a
I'm not-
simple life.
See, I'm not
It's
a-
a simple life.
yeah, no. Well, I'm not a particularly violent person. Like I don't ever want to.
You're just surviving. You know,
anybody, but if I have to,
they're already
I
dead.
would.
They're not coming back to
Right.
life.
Exactly. I don't know. It's just like I grew up with a lot of like hunting, fishing. I even have family that I worked on a farm a couple summers. I think I could do it. I also studied agricultural business, so
Nice.
there's that.
So you could survive.
Yeah.
You could forage. You know, you raid the local grocery store. You see what's left.
Who do you
make
think
a
would
bread.
Who do you think would do better in a zombie apocalypse, Nock or Crisp?
That's tough.
Here's-
we are not good options.
Well, both of you told me that you guys were like, didn't you guys say like you guys were sheltered as growing up or something like that?
I don't know that I've ever said that out loud,
we
but
are
I
both
was.
very
You said
sheltered.
that,
We
I
were
think.
both very
Yeah.
sheltered children.
I would argue that I
don't
was.
know.
We had similar upbringings.
I don't.
I would say crisp, but here's my reasoning. I get very hangry pretty quickly, and
I'm
I
also
think
a lot faster than you.
Okay, but zombies don't run that fast.
But I just want that was more so just like, hey everybody, just so you know, I'm a lot
you're
faster than
I'm stronger,
you. Yes.
and I'm probably in better
Guess
shape.
what? Guess what?
Eh,
I don't
I'm not
think
in
that.
great
I
shape.
don't think that. I think that strength is something that we
If
can
a
all work
zombie
on.
catches
Strength
you,
is something
you're
that
fucked.
strength is something that we
If
can
a
all
zombie
work on.
catches me, I could get out of it.
I could improve my strength.
But you could run faster, sure.
I think that I could get to as strong as you if I. It would take a while. You're a lot stronger than me. I'm not saying you're not. I could get to as strong as you. You're no hope in getting as fast as me. Speed isn't something as easily attainable as strength.
Sure, in
You're
a
fucked.
40-yard dash, I may never be able to beat you in a 40-yard dash, but
That's
that's not what's important for zombies. Doing Ironmans and running marathons is in my family genes. If I wanted to learn, I could learn, and I think that that's a better skill. I could run from the zombies longer. You're just gonna after 40 yards, you're gonna be out of shape and you're gonna be tired, and they're gonna kill you. They're gonna eat you.
I want to argue with you. A lot of what you're saying is correct.
But if it's a 40-yard dash to save our lives from the zombies, you gotta reach the door
Yep.
first. You're gonna
I'm
survive.
blowing you out of the water.
But then I'm stronger, so maybe I can grab something to block the zombies' fat.
And
That was a good one, Mont. That was a great.
I'm not gonna answer the question between
Yeah,
for the
that's
two of
good.
you. I just maybe if God forbid if the day comes, we'll find out.
Because then we'd know you're either a knocker or a crispy, and that would
Yeah.
brew some tensions on the podcast.
Yeah.
Honorable mentions, I was thinking Peaky Blinders. I don't think I would be good in the Peaky Blinders, but it'd be cool to see 19th century England.
Yeah. The only other
Or
one I thought of
20th
was
century.
Entourage, but that would only be if I
that
was
would
in
be
the
sick.
Entourage.
Yeah, that would be sick.
And I don't think I was allowed
Black
to
Mirror?
say I was in the Entourage.
Maybe there's a cool
No.
Black Mirror episode you could be a part of.
Was Game of Thrones maybe an honorable mention?
Yeah, that would be a cool life to see what it's like for a couple weeks, but then I think I would get sick of it. Maybe the same
Yeah.
with Peaky Blinders probably.
I feel like you would die. You would be most likely to die from a disease in Game of Thrones than.
I thought of like a funny.
Mandalorian.
Oh.
I thought of a funny
Space?
joke that I don't. I thought of a funny joke on the way here that I don't believe. I don't. You know how you can be a comedian and tell a joke that is a joke and you don't believe in the principle of what you're saying because it's mean.
I just say the joke. I don't understand.
So I thought of a funny joke for this question would be what's the show? Mad Men, because in Mad Men none of them had to respect women.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Look, like
you need a. You're tipping on the toe. You guys
So-
are gonna get
That's
canceled.
kind of-
So that
That's
was
kind of
I was like on the way here. I was like, oh, that's like kind of a funny joke.
Yeah,
but
we
like,
don't agree with it.
I disavow that joke.
We disavow.
It's not.
That's kind of funny.
Here's the thing about thoughts. Sometimes you can't control thoughts that come into your head. I didn't mean to think that,
Look, hey,
and
for the
I
record,
purposefully didn't say it with
we
vengeance.
respect women on this.
But it would be
podcast.
interesting. Yeah, for
But
sure.
if I were to have said that, it would be a funny joke.
All right.
All right, moving on to news. I don't have that much news. I didn't really pay attention all that much this week, other than just watching football games. I've got like a couple things, so you want to just do a couple things and then just get back into football because that's all I've been doing recently. Okay, so first piece of news is Lane Kiffin, Ole Miss football coach. You guys know Lane Kiffin?
What do
You know Lane Kiffin,
yeah,
right?
I know.
Yeah, so Wilbon and Kornheiser on PTI. I almost said
Oh,
PNT.
yeah.
Wilbon and Kornheiser on PTI. I guess Wilbon said something like
He was just ripping.
he was just ripping them for like seemingly no reason. I mean, I get like Lane Kiffin's had a really weird past. I don't know exactly what Wilbon was saying. Basically calling him like a joke, like actually like mean things. Not just saying that Alabama was going to win, like actually being quite mean to Lane Kiffin. I felt bad. And then the first tweet that Lane Kiffin did is like, I think an ultimate hilarious move to somebody who's mean to you. He just responded back and said, "I'll pray for you." Which I love that. Like I know of another
That is
story.
good.
You guys know Hugh Freeze?
Yeah.
He's Liberty's coach,
Yeah.
which is hilarious in itself. He used to coach. Where did he used to coach? Wherever, Ole Miss too. Wherever he used to coach, he got in trouble for giving his players hookers, essentially, and like recruits.
Didn't
Like
they make out with his wife too?
yeah, no, that's Dan Mullen. He still coaches. No, but Hugh Freeze, like he got in trouble for like giving prostitutes to his college age players, and somebody was giving him a hard time on Twitter, and Hugh Freeze just DM'd him and was like praying for you. It's just like it's one of my favorite moves of all time. If somebody's mean to you, just say praying for you. But
Nice.
Dan Kiffin kind of fucked it up, and he
We gotta start doing that when people tweet at
Yeah,
us.
I
And
know.
we don't like their
Praying for you.
tweet. Yeah.
Hugh Freeze coaches at Liberty University now.
Yeah, he coaches at Liberty now, which
That's
is hilarious in and of
ironic.
itself.
Yeah.
That because that university obviously just doesn't give a fuck about anything. But
yeah.
but then Lane Kiffin ruined it. He like woke up the next morning, I guess thought about it some more, and he got really mad. And I don't know exactly, but he tweeted like something
it,
that wasn't
Lane.
as funny. So that was one thing, and then Ryder Cup.
Absolutely electric. Debatably my favorite golf event I've ever watched in my entire life.
Yeah, the Ryder Cup's fun. I wish that every golf tournament was like that because it just makes it so much. Like I love
The
golf.
crowd looked
but-
electric.
Yeah, I want to go really bad now. It was really fun. It was weird. I don't know. How do you feel about Bryson and Brooks being friends?
I don't know. Like I don't hate it, but like golf kind of needs more stories
Agreed.
or like tournaments like this to like help keep it up. And so I think if they become friends, then that like teeters it down a little bit.
I agree. It on the one hand, it's nice that they came together for America or whatever, or like for the team.
Yeah.
But you're right that golf needs more storylines. I'm hoping that they go back to having problems with each other.
Or I'll say they can be friends, but like the golfers need more emotion, like they had in this tournament. Like I saw a tweet and it was like Patrick Cantlay won like $30 million in the last month, right? And they didn't see him celebrate like not once for
Yeah.
all those tournaments, and they actually saw him like yelling and like fist pumping for a tournament where he wins no money. Right, and so it's
Right.
like if JT was going around like slugging beers after rounds and like screaming and yelling, and Spieth was doing that stuff too, then I think I'm okay with them being friends because then there's more like
That's true.
things
I
to
like.
root for and talk about.
I think that there should be more drinking of alcohol during golf rounds
Yeah.
in professional tournaments. That
And
was
more
fun.
teams. Like, they don't necessarily all need to be on a team, but there should be a
You
tournament
think there
where
should
it's
be like in the middle of the PGA season a team event?
like Rom and DJ are just gonna team up, and like again everyone's on
How-
a team.
how
so there's
would-
like 70 teams.
What do you think? Do you think it should be a draft of sorts? Do you think that they should be able to make the teams themselves?
It'd
Do
be
you think
cool
the
if they
PGA
made
random?
the teams themselves or random. Like if you qualify for the tournament, you get that would be cool too. But like I think team events is cool.
Maybe we have like there's like a college football playoff committee. Maybe we have
Yeah.
like a PGA Tour.
Tell me, isn't
team
it more
committee?
like real golf? And when I say real golf, I mean like you, me, or
Yeah.
Mont. Like we're
No,
going
you're
out and
right.
playing golf, right? That's what people do. Is they play on teams.
you go with you go with four
Your friends,
people
yeah,
and you
you
do
play on
2v2
teams.
2v2. Absolutely right. And that's why they should also get more drunk while they
True.
play.
Minimum beer a hole. Could you imagine? They'd all
that
die.
would be
They
that
would
would
all
be sick.
die.
But it is weird that Patrick Cantley thing you mentioned. I mean, the Ryder Cup's weird. I don't know if
I
they
was
win money.
hot on golf too. Hot,
Oh, you were betting on the Ryder Cup?
big time.
Really? I didn't touch it.
Friday, Saturday, I went 6-0.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
You should have tweeted
And then
from
I lost it a little bit on Sunday.
you should have
but-
tweeted from the Nock and Chris Twitter account.
Well, I wasn't confident. I was just like, let me just
Well,
make some picks
that's okay.
for fun.
Next
Turns
time.
out I know golf.
Yeah, next time. No, you
Can't
should.
play it, though.
You should tweet more. But yeah, it was fun. The last thing about it is, I do think it's weird. I don't know if they win money for winning the Ryder Cup.
So I looked it up. So everyone technically gets paid, right? Like the golfers
like
get
minimum
100 or
wage.
200K. I think the captains get like 200K. But for at least for the U.S., that money gets donated to a charity of their choice. So they don't actually get to keep it. So
So-
they're not playing for anything except bragging rights.
So it's interesting though. Like you brought up Patrick Cantley. I mean, he won $30 million, and you're telling me there's not a chance he actually cared more about the Ryder Cup than winning $30 million.
I don't.
No way. That has to be fake.
Well, so that didn't come from his mouth. It's people saying like his expressions on TV. Like he made more expressions
I mean,
on TV.
Yeah, I guess.
And
but
like after holes,
I don't
which
know.
I think is fair.
No, it is.
But
and
they
it's
also
it's cool.
they don't get paid, but I bet they get more like branding and exposure from this tournament than they do for the other ones.
Yeah, I wonder what
Unless
the
you
ratings
bid.
are like in this one compared to like the Masters. I wonder if more people watch it. I bet they do. I bet they do. I don't know.
I don't know. It was an electric tournament. That's all I'm gonna say. I watched it, and I don't normally watch other
You
ones.
see our friend Tom has a golf
Yes.
a golf YouTube channel now.
Yeah, shout it out. Do you know what it is?
I don't know what it's called. He's trying to break 30 on a on 9,
Yeah.
which would be very impressive, Tom, if you break 30 on 9 actually.
I'll look it up. We got to give him a shout out.
Tom McLaughlin, I forget.
Tom Unda something.
It's like Tom Unda something, yeah. Just go to his Instagram.
Oh, true.
But yeah, shout out to Tom. His swing looks good. I watched the first video. He didn't break 30, but his swing looked good. And the title of his next one was like 4 left. So pretty sure he didn't break 30 on the title of one called 4 left. So, but I didn't watch it. What are you doing?
I'm looking at it. Just go to the next topic.
Go to the next topic. I don't have that many other topics. I have a fun fantasy football story.
Tom unto Tom. Two unto Tom is his.
Oh,
name.
2 because he's trying to go 2 under on 9 holes.
Yeah.
I get it. 2 under Tom. Shout out to him. He's a pretty funny guy actually. His YouTube video is kind of funny. He talks.
Old roommate.
He talks during it. I don't know if you like golf. It might be worth your time. I have a funny fantasy football story.
Okay.
I was down 50 in a league on Monday morning, and I had Ezekiel Elliott and Dalton Schultz left. And first of all, the fact that I'm starting Dalton Schultz shows you like where this team is at. But I like didn't even watch a Monday night game. Woke up on Tuesday and I won because they both had 2 touchdowns and not like a nuts win.
Nice. I
Yeah.
beat my dad in fantasy football this week.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this like your family league?
No, so it's technically me, my dad, and my grandfather, but we joined a league in Yahoo, so it's like technically
random people?
but
That's
we
funny.
did it all at the same time.
Do
Got
you
the same
know
league.
have you talked to any other people or
No.
You know
My
trash
team,
talk?
my team is smoking everybody. It's like my grandpa's in first. I have no idea how, and then I'm in second. But it's like I'm far and away the best
Did
team.
your dad draft a bunch of Duke players?
Honestly, he would be better off if he drafted Duke players. He played Hunter Renfro against me. If that says anything, he had a good week.
Actually, Hunter Renfro is a
But it's like the
legitimate.
fact that he has
Hunter
to
Renfro
play
is a
him.
legitimate fantasy option this year. I think. I mean, he's been.
now maybe, but you wouldn't have known.
Speaking
that
of which,
last
we're
week.
gonna have to talk about Mike Williams and Keenan Allen later.
Oh, can we bring it up now and how right I was? Oh,
I don't think
incredible.
that there's nothing that happened last week that makes you more right than me.
He was awesome. He
So
scored
is
the game-winning
Keenan Allen.
touchdown.
So is Keenan Allen.
Which one of them scored the game-winning? So for those of you,
Mon, can you look up who had more points last week? It might have been Mike Williams, but it was.
Mike Williams.
He had
got
32.
34.
Or Keenan Allen had to have been high 20s.
So
Mike
on the
Williams
last
got 34,
podcast,
Keenan
debatably
got 16.
the greatest
Oh, he only got
podcast we've
16.
ever recorded.
18.
We had a debate who's better between Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, and we all agreed over the last couple years Keenan Allen has been a much better receiver. But this year I'm taking Mike Williams, and that he's going to be better than Keenan Allen is, especially in fantasy. And so,
Never mind.
what's our
Keenan
bet?
19.
All right, I guess it's not that much.
What's our bet?
I actually don't remember.
We have a bet. We can't
Whoever
remember
ends
it.
the
We might
season
make
with
it
more
up at the
fantasy
end.
points,
Something like that.
has to do something.
Yeah, but I'm gonna win. It's not even gonna be close.
I'm not worried. Mike Williams, like obviously that's a pretty awesome passing attack.
Stud.
But I'm not worried. Keenan Allen's still better. Mike Williams drops the ball too much. Anyway, that's all really for news in general. I do want to talk about baseball a little bit. Will you indulge me?
Yeah.
And this is another one to shout out to our new employee, the Punisher, Tom Pearson. He has gotten on me in the past because we never talk about baseball, and he loves baseball. Nock and I aren't huge baseball guys, but it is kind of exciting.
I do love it live. I just don't watch it on TV.
If you're not tuning into baseball right now, it's coming down to the finish, actually, in a very exciting way. So first of all, the Cardinals have won 17 games in a row, which
Did they clinch? They clinched, right?
clinched last night on their 17th win in a row. So I actually bet against them today because this is the first game they don't care about. We'll see how that goes. I might be an idiot, but they've won 17 games in a row, which I don't know the stats, but that feels like one of the most impressive stats I've ever heard. It feels like, because baseball's
It's
so
awesome.
like, even the best team in baseball goes like 162 or whatever, however many games they
I
play.
won money on the Yankees last night. They're hot. They are hot.
So yeah, moving off the National League onto the AL, the Yankees are not 17 games, but almost equally as hot. They are now 2 up in the wild card. Sox are in the second wild card. Mariners are down 1, who's just as hot as the Yankees. They've come out of nowhere, the Mariners, and then the Jays are 2 down. So 5 games left, I think, for those teams. Pretty exciting stuff. I love that the Yankees and Sox are in it together. If the Yankees and Sox have a 1-game playoff in the wild card, that'll be electric. Now, really quick on baseball, I mean, that has to be like the most outdated thing in sports. That I don't understand how it makes sense that in baseball, a sport where you play 182 games,
162.
160. You play 162 games in a season, and then 2 teams that make the wild card play 1 time, and that's it. That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get it. So it's fun TV, but it just whatever team with one better pitcher wins.
Yeah.
And I think that's stupid.
Yeah.
And that's why the Twins never win. That's all baseball. Anything else? That's all I need with baseball. Maybe we'll watch the playoffs. Who knows?
I guess the last podcast died when we talked about this, but shout out to one of our guests, Joey. We went to a Nats game for his birthday 2 weeks ago, and he caught 2 baseballs in the stands and gave them to little kids and made their day. So, cool guy, Joey. He's single.
Yeah,
ladies, hit him
hey
up.
ladies, you hear that? He's a good guy. Yeah, he's good looking. He's a nice guy. He's
Be careful.
Got big muscles.
Yeah.
Big muscles, yeah. All right, next topic.
Okay, that's really all the news. I mean, I guess we could really quick talk about Kyrie. He's just
yeah.
not,
Explain the story. I don't fully.
Well, I
know
think
the
it's
story,
essentially Kyrie just like doesn't want to get the vaccine, and there's a few players that don't want to get the vaccine. I think the NBA is at like 90% or something. But there's New York. You like can't go inside without a vaccine, right? So essentially, if Kyrie Irving doesn't get the vaccine, he cannot play in Brooklyn Nets home games. So he would miss 41 games of the season. And the NBA announced today that if you miss games because of vaccine rules, then you won't get paid for those games. So I get that Kyrie's already rich, so it really doesn't matter maybe. But also, if you think about it, like him not getting the vaccine is going to cost him like I don't know how many millions. But if you miss 41 games, he's losing millions with his contract. I don't know exactly how many.
If it helps at all, I literally just bought the Kyrie Low Force like 3 weeks ago.
That's funny.
They're sitting right under my bed.
I mean,
right
I'm
next
like,
to it if you want to bring them out.
I'm legitimately thinking like, is he going to retire? Like, if he feels that strongly,
who knows?
Is he going to retire?
Also,
his aunt like came out with somebody interviewed his aunt and was like, Kyrie built the Nets. Like, what the hell does that even mean? He's been there for one season. He didn't
Yeah.
build anything, and they didn't even make it to they didn't even make the finals.
I'm convinced that, like, he went to Duke, right? I'm assuming he has a team, that his team has done research and they found out that, like, if he's crazy and psycho and, like, gets in the news for these kind of things, that he ends up making more money or, like, becomes more famous because of all this, like, interaction and stuff. That's the only thing I can think of that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or he's just a psycho.
I think that I don't know. It's just funny to think about it in that way. I think, like, regardless of the whole vaccine part, like, this decision is going to lose him just millions of dollars, and he really doesn't seem to care. But
it's a good place to be in. All right, let's talk sports.
All right. Well, I mean, that kind of was.
Real sports.
Basketball's not real. Baseball's not real. Not to you.
The best sport. Let's talk the best sport.
Okay, the best sport. I've been having so much fun watching football. I mean, I have been doing nothing on the weekends
I
other
clocked
than
my
sitting.
first 24-hour bender on the new couch.
What does that mean?
So, like, obviously I moved places, right?
You didn't go to bed?
No. I did go to bed, but, like,
Then you certainly didn't do that. You certainly didn't do 24
okay, but
hour
over
bender.
the course of 2.5 days, 24 hours on a couch
I don't think
over a weekend.
I don't think you can.
That's more embarrassing than, like.
Well, I don't think you can call it a 24-hour bender. It was very misleading.
All right, thanks for listening to the Webb Street podcast. It's been a great one.
Nice. Any more jokes? You got any more jokes?
You can't figure out how to turn that on.
He muted my mic, and he didn't think I could figure it out. All right, anyway, yeah.
Look,
so
it's
football,
still off.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
No,
that's
it's
you.
not.
That's my mic, dumbass.
I'm kidding.
All right, so yeah, you just wanted me to press it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with what you were trying to say, is that I have been doing nothing but watching football. I've been having so much fun. Let's start talking about the NFL, huh?
Let's do it.
All right, so what we're gonna do every week is me, aka Crisp, and Nock and Mont are gonna give our top 10 teams in the league and bottom 5 teams in the league as we see it. We're gonna get to that at the end. This week let's just touch on.
We're gonna highlight a couple games.
Yeah, highlight some
between.
games from last week and then some exciting stuff to look forward to this week.
Yeah.
All right, so I think where we have to start last week, ranked Bucks, right? A lot of people thought the two best teams in the league. A lot of people thought probably the two best teams in the league, maybe going into the game.
Mm-hmm.
Did this game change anything for you in thinking that or no?
I don't think. I think it for sure shows that the Rams are for real, which we already kind of knew because they were super dominant. But I don't think it matters that. I think home field matters, but I think that once they play in the playoffs, when it like really means something, then it's going to be a toss-up, maybe
right,
depending on who has the home field advantage. But
yeah, one game doesn't really mean anything to me in the NFL, especially a Super Bowl champion. They an early season game against a really good team that probably wants it a little bit more makes sense.
Yeah,
the loss made sense, but it was fun. It was fun.
Great game.
It was a great game. The Rams are really good.
Rams are.
You just
really
have to
good.
say that the Rams are really good.
SoFi Stadium looks sick.
I don't know why it looks like just bigger than every other stadium.
Yeah. Ginormous. I want to go.
Okay. I mean, that's a crazy request, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
Justin Tucker, yeah? 66?
Incredible.
66?
Like,
yards.
and you just knew watching that, like, 66 has never been done before, but you just knew because it was the Lions that somehow, some way,
Right.
Justin Tucker was going to nail this kick. And the fact that it hit the crossbar, the fans were excited, and then it bounced in. Ugh, those poor fans.
I know. It compounds it with the whole controversy about how there was a very obvious false start on the play before, or not false start, delay of game on the play before. Like, it was like 2 seconds over, and it just compounds it for those poor Lions fans.
Oh, yeah, it sucks.
Does that loss concern you for the Ravens, or does that win, 2-point win, concern you for or whatever, 1 point, 2 points? Does it concern you about the Ravens at all, or no?
I don't know. I still think the Ravens are good. Like, I think the Lions are kind of frisky. Like, they're not a good team, but they're a frisky team.
Mm-hmm. I don't think they're bad, man. I think that they're gonna surprise some people in a couple games this year, probably, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's something about it, and I guess we'll kind of talk about it maybe even right now. It's like one of those things where, like, I think more about the Ravens finding a way to win in some of these really, really close games, like against the Chiefs, against the Lions, rather than the Broncos that like they're 3-0, they've cakewalked through these first 3 teams. Like I don't think that they're as good as the Ravens because like a cakewalk isn't going to help them in these tight games against good teams.
The wins have been impressive for the Ravens in the way they did it. Washington football. I'm only bringing. It's not that much exciting news from the Washington football team, but the thought going into the season was that they had one of the best defenses in the league. I think it was like a pretty common thought. What is going on? They've won one game, and even in that one win, I don't think their defense looked very good.
Coaching, right? Coaching related.
I don't know, because wasn't it the same coach last year? That's what's confusing. It was Jack Del Rio last year. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter and like my friends in a group chat complaining about coaching, and I guess that makes sense. But
the talent is there.
Well, it's the same talent and the same coaches as last year and a really good defense. So that's been kind of like worrisome for me. I mean, I thought the Washington football team were pretty. I thought they were 12-10 in the league, maybe top 10 team almost, and obviously not.
No,
obviously not right now.
Not even sniffing.
Yeah, I'm concerned. Anything else on the Washington football team? All right. Bears, really quick. Bears scored 40 or had 47 yards in the box score in a game. I mean,
makes no sense.
That and I didn't really watch much of that game. I was watching Red Zone, and the only part of that game that they showed was Justin Fields getting sacked.
How are the Bengals a 7.5 point favorite over the Jaguars? Like I am scared to bet the Jaguars, but that line feels way too big. The Bengals suck too.
Well, I've bet against the Bengals all 3 weeks, and I am 1-2 in doing that.
Yeah,
they've covered twice. This is their first time favored. Actually, they've been underdogs 3 weeks in a row. I don't know. I don't know where that line comes from. The Jags have looked bad. It's a Thursday night. Thursday night games get weird. I could see the Jags absolutely covering, but
like the Jags have moment of greatness. Obviously, we're going to talk about the kickoff return. Absolutely incredible.
I wasn't planning on it, so you can talk about it now. No,
that kickoff return was awesome.
Yeah, that was really fun. I kind of forgot about 109.
Like they were leading at halftime.
Right. Yeah, anytime an 109-yard score happens, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. They don't run the ball or like as effectively as I thought they were going to. Like James Robinson was good last year. He's been a non-factor.
That's the rookie quarterbacks, man. Coming in this season, I thought Trevor Lawrence was really going to be able to do something, and he just really hasn't. They might turn it around. I'm still holding out hope on the Jags. That's why maybe that plus 7.5 is a sneaky good bet this week, because you got to think at some point Trevor Lawrence has the talent to figure it out. But I know there's growing pains rookie season, but it's got to click at some point.
They're on like shitty teams too, which doesn't help them.
They are on shitty teams. Speaking of rookie quarterbacks on shitty teams, here's what I'll ask you: do the Jets look like a team that's legitimately capable of going 0-16 or 17 or whatever?
Yeah, for sure.
I agree. I don't know that. Once again, I was watching Red Zone. I didn't watch the whole thing, but that looked like one of the most incapable teams of all time in that Broncos game.
With Zach Wilson on the helm, I mean, I kind of feel bad for the kid because he doesn't really have a lot of weapons. But
I don't know that I believe that. Like their O-line sucks.
Okay, so
which is fair.
What weapons does he have on his?
Corey Davis is a good receiver. He's not a wide receiver 1, but he's a good receiver.
I'm not sold on Corey Davis still.
Who's the Elijah Moore, right? Or
yeah, I mean it's Elijah Moore. Let's not act like
he's good. He's a little injury prone.
Let's not act like they have great.
No, but I would contend that it's almost as good as the Patriots receiving core. They have Nelson Aguilar and Jacoby.
They might. I mean, those and the Saints. Those 3 teams might have be battling
Kendrick
for
Bourne.
the
I forgot about the GOAT.
Yeah, he had a really nice catch last week, actually. Yeah. The Jets are really, really bad. I still kind of want to hold out hope on Zach Wilson, but it's getting hard. They look really, really bad.
Like, they just need a lot of work on offense.
Their defense isn't that bad too, which kind of makes me think at some point they could sneak out a win. If
CJ Mosley had that huge one.
Yeah, I'm thinking that now that I think about it, I don't think they'll go 0-4. You have a fucking bird in here? Or is that just your fan?
It's the fan.
Oh, okay.
What?
It sounded like a chirp. You know what I mean?
It could be outside.
No, it's probably the fan. It just sounded like a chirp.
Yeah, it's a bird outside.
Is it? All right.
Yeah.
just have thin windows. Anyway, I was kind of
Chris is deathly afraid of
I'm
birds.
talking myself off
So.
the Jets going 0-17 ledge by thinking they're going to play a bad offense at some point. The defense might get a pick six and they'll win
A team that is like
They'll
does
win-
the Packers, where they're just completely not ready for
or
it.
that. Yeah, they'll win a game like 13-6 one
Yeah.
time.
They're bad.
And then the last thing from last week is the AFC West. I think people thought this division would be decently good, and I don't know what
AFC
kind
West
of
versus NFC West would be lit every week.
yeah that would be lit. Those are probably the two best divisions right now.
Oh, for sure, by far and away.
I don't think that I don't know what people's expectations of the Chiefs were, but I'm sure none of them thought the Chiefs would be end of week 3 solo
I still don't
last
think
place.
they're bad.
No, I don't think anybody's saying
Everyone
that.
just brings their best against the Chiefs every week, and they lost to good teams.
Where do you think they
Like
finish?
the Chiefs have had the hardest schedule to start a season out of any team this year.
I
By
don't
far.
disagree, but right now, what position do they finish in their division? They're
First.
You think they end up finishing first?
First,
I don't know, man. Maybe.
what do you see? Like I still don't believe in the Broncos. Like I won money on the Broncos this week, so I'll say they're a middle of the pack team. Like I don't have them in my top 10, but I do have them for sure in my top 20, probably in my top
Damn.
15. Right, so they're
Don't believe in my Broncos.
upper half of the league. Right, the Chargers are good. They're top 10,
Mhm.
but they're gonna split. The Chiefs are gonna beat them the next time around. The Raiders are good. They're like top 10, probably top 15 for sure. They're gonna split. I think everyone else.
Well,
the
we'll
Chiefs are
see.
gonna beat.
We'll see if the Chiefs can stop anybody. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. And Pat Mahomes, this was the first time I can remember he got the ball last in a game. Like he had a minute and a half to go score a touchdown, and he threw the worst interception ever.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's falling. I'm not saying he's not still Pat Mahomes, but
I don't
Could be a
know.
different
I
year.
still think it's like there's a lot to be said about getting hot at the right time, right?
and I'm sure they will.
The Bucks last year did not look good, like that good the beginning half of the season, and then they won 7 straight.
I
times.
agree,
Like,
but the
you gotta
only
get hot at the right time.
I do agree with that. The only issue I have is that the Bucks division last year was really bad, or pretty bad.
Yeah, so they got free
The
wins.
Chiefs division is arguably the best, probably the second best.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that'll be an interesting storyline to follow throughout the year. All right, that's all I've got from last week. We'll move into this week.
Yeah.
I mean, was there anything
What's
else you wanted to?
our time? We're doing good.
26.
Keep
We'll
going. Yeah.
keep going. All right, this week. So biggest game of I would say biggest game just like of the season. Just when I'm not saying maybe like you get to week 16 and you got teams vying for playoff spot, but like when the schedule was laid out, the biggest game you looked at was this game. The Bucks, Pats visiting the Bucks.
It's just a huge story.
Tom Brady coming
it's
home.
It's like an awesome story.
Knock, were you
awesome and
following?
horrible.
Are you following with? I didn't read any stories. I know some stuff came out like about Belichick like dissing Brady last season. Like, did you see all that? What was going on?
Yeah, no. I mean, I take it with a grain of salt. Like, we know for sure that relationship was super rocky, and that led to Tom's departure because Bill wanted to do things his way, Tom wanted it his way. They both wanted credit, but there was, like, no way for them both to get credit, really.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't not believe the stories, but at the same time, it's like neither one of them is going to come out and say one way or the other, like, that's true or not. It's just going to be people that they know.
I'm really excited to see if they do post game like a hug. You know,
Yeah.
when they all meet in the middle. You
I
they'll
think
hug?
they will. I think
You think
Tom
they'll
is
hug?
too nice a guy.
I don't know, man. So if anything is true, like it seems like they really hate each other.
No, I think they'll hug.
You think
Dude,
they'll hug?
Richard Sherman is now in the Bucks. Like, I think Tom is willing to be friends with anybody.
All right. I don't know. It'll be fun to see.
I mean,
That
it's
could be
gonna
like a good-
be an absolute stomp
That could be a
show.
good, like,
if anything,
$5
Bill's
bet.
gonna be pissed. So like,
Yeah, I don't know, man. I part of me thinks that Bill hasn't game planned for any game yet this season because he's been game planning for the Bucks for 4 weeks straight. That's part of me. What part of me is thinking. That's
That would
kind of
kinda
my.
be sick.
That's my
That
thought
would be
process right
sick.
now. Is that the Patriots have looked so bad because this is the only game that Bill Belichick cares about, especially because
if you're Mac Jones, what is going through your head right now? You're already replacing
Yeah.
the GOAT for the team. Like, now you're gonna go up against the GOAT. Everyone's like, oh, like, you gotta fill this guy's shoes.
Tom Brady's gonna go up to him. You know, pregame. Obviously, they're warming up at the same time. Tom Brady's gonna say some wild shit to him pregame, like I don't know. It's going to be like backhanded. It's not going to be like fuck you, but it's going to be some backhanded stuff that really gets in his head.
Mac Jones is going to absolutely have a mental breakdown
Yeah.
at some point in the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
The other thing, so you know how like Tom used to do this thing before every game, right? Home games, where him and like Brian Hoyer, whoever the fucking backup was, but usually it was Brian Hoyer.
It did
They'd
seem
run
like
out, like they run along the sideline, and then they run to the edge of the stands, and they're like, "Let's go!" And they like throw up their hands. Well, Brian Hoyer is still the backup on the team, and Mac Jones is the starter.
Wait,
so the
is
two of
Brian
them
Hoyer
do it
is the
now, and
backup
it's
on the-
so less hype. The
Yeah.
Patriots, it's so much less hype. You can just tell, like,
Mac Jones would give me hype
no.
if I was a linebacker.
I hope he's good. I had a freak out when they drafted him, and I was pissed because I didn't think he was going to be good. He's been better than I thought, but not great.
Well, I agree. He didn't look good last week, but there's certainly still an argument to be had that he's looked the best.
Yeah,
Actually,
I mean, he has
not.
the best
I would
team.
say that there's not even an argument. I would say he's obviously
Yeah,
looked the
he
best,
is the best
of the
team,
rookie
though.
quarterbacks. True.
So that's not fair. Like, I think if Trevor Lawrence was here, whoo,
Yeah.
they might be playoff bound.
Yeah. Trevor Lawrence has made some nice throws, but I don't know. All right, Bucks Pats. Looking forward. That's gonna be a lot of fun. That might
Yep.
be a non-red zone game. That might just be a watch the game.
Well, it's definitely not a red zone game because it's Sunday night.
Oh,
So
never mind. But point remains the same. If that was a 4:00 game, that I might make a decision to not watch red zone and watch that game,
okay,
which would be crazy because I haven't done that in years.
okay,
Okay, we got 2 prove it games.
okay. What are they?
We've got 3-0 Panthers playing
Yeah.
the Cowboys,
Yeah,
which
prove
is
it
a
game.
fun prove it game because the Cowboys I think are pretty unanimously at this point good,
Yeah,
at least right now.
yeah.
And the Panthers have a lot to prove. 3-0, a lot of cupcake games.
If CMC's not there, that might change some things. But
Well, sure, but I'm excited to see if the Panthers are for real. Another prove it game, Broncos. They play the Ravens.
big time.
That's a big time prove it game. And not to mention the Ravens in particular. That division's hard. I think the Ravens in particular. There's 3 2-1 teams right now. The Ravens in particular need that win. The Cowboys can go to 2-2 in theory and be fine.
Yeah.
But the Ravens and the Broncos, I think, is a very intriguing game because it's a prove it game and the Ravens need it.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy because I think that there may or may not be a chance that the AFC West. Like, is it possible all 4 teams can make the playoffs? Right, because there's 3 wild cards now. So
Yeah,
you win your
it's
division,
possible.
you get one in. Like, I find it hard to believe because I think that the Browns and the Ravens both will make the
they'll
playoffs.
both make it. They're
So
better
that would
than
take away
yeah.
one of the spots, but oh my gosh, it would be incredible if all 4 teams.
Yeah. So I'm excited with those prove it games.
Yeah.
Those prove it games.
Yeah.
And then I've identified 2 must wins. I
Who?
think week 4 2 teams are on must win alert.
Okay. Who?
Colts 0-3 against the Dolphins. If the Colts want to make the playoffs, they need to figure it out.
Yeah.
Because the Colts are a team that thought they would.
Yep.
They signed
Their
Carson
division
Wentz.
sucks.
I
Like,
agree.
they can win it.
But just morality wise, starting the season 0-4 for a
Tough.
team that wants to go to the playoffs is
Tough.
tough, right?
Tough.
And the Finns aren't with Jacoby Brissett. It's a team you could beat, for sure. And
Especially
then-
the
go
AFC
ahead.
just feels so deep this year. Like,
Very
if you
true.
want to like make the playoffs, and the Dolphins can't win the division. The Bills are too
Who's
good.
the 4th team? It's the Colts, the Titans, the Texans, and
Jaguars.
oh yeah, wow, that is a really bad division.
Yeah.
That might be a
So that's why it's like,
that might be a
if they can win
under 500
this
division
week,
winner.
the Colts can definitely have a shot. If they go 0-4, they still got a shot, but they have to have like a miracle.
that's crazy because
turnaround.
that's been a pretty good division for a little while now.
Well, it's just the Titans are just so hit or miss. They can be
You think that-
incredible
do-
or not.
You think the
Like,
winner of that division might go under 500? They might.
they might.
But so maybe it's less of a
So let's get in. This is a good
must win than I
segue. Let's
thought.
just get into our top 10.
Wait, I have one more
bottom
must
5.
win. And I want to hear what you think. I think the Chiefs
Okay.
have to win.
We're running a little long.
Okay,
on
I
this
think the
segment.
Chiefs have to win against the Eagles. I don't think they can go 1-3.
I put down a very substantial bet on the Chiefs today and the spread.
Okay, good. I mean, I think that. Well, you know the stat on the Chiefs.
What?
I don't know the exact stat, but there's something like 1-11 in their last 12 spreads.
So the only thing I'm
Do
going
you
to
know
say,
that, Mont? It's something like that. I think I'm slightly off. It's maybe 1-12 now. They're like they haven't won a spread in a long time.
yeah, but I mean, if Andy Reid is okay, right? That's a big factor. But Eric Bieniemy is also a great coach, and their defense is going to be garbage, whatever. But the Eagles are on a short week. everyone's saying, oh, the Chiefs suck, like, or maybe not that
No
the
one's
Chiefs
saying the
suck,
Chiefs
but
suck.
like that the Chiefs are in trouble, right? Like, I think this is going to be a big
People are saying the
bounce
Chiefs are in
back,
trouble.
prove it game.
Yeah, I think it's a must-win.
Yeah.
Honestly. All right, you're right. Segue, top 10, bottom 5,
Yep, let's do it.
and then we'll talk about some college football after.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do it this way. Let's do bottom 5s first. Let's have tech
We'll
producer.
we'll
tech
see
producer
if
Mont
that's
go first.
exciting at all.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Should we just do top 10s? You wanna just do top
Let's just
10s?
do bottom 5 to start because I think we're all going to have the same thing.
Okay, Mont, go ahead. Do your bottom 5. Who started 28?
All right, so my bottom 5, 28 is the Falcons.
All right, that's mine.
Same.
Okay. 29 is the Giants.
Same.
I have Texans, but we'll flip flop here.
30, Jacksonville.
No.
Jaguars.
I have the Giants there.
31, while your comment about the Lions was true, they have problems they need to fix, but every game that they've been playing, they've been like, it's not like a walk, like every team that's played them, they're not going to just walk over them. They like the Lions are going to be like feisty.
Correct.
Yeah.
Do you have them at 31?
I have them at 31 though.
That's crazy.
yeah.
I don't even have them in my
And
bottom
then of
5.
course I
Me either.
have Jets at 32.
Yeah, I have Jets and Jaguars as the two worst teams.
Okay, so we have pretty similar, right? Knock. I mean, so Falcons, and then we have Giants and
You have
Texans.
the Lions in your bottom 5?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. I'm
Wait, so who didn't you have? You didn't have the Giants or the
I
Texans?
almost put the Eagles at bottom 5.
I'm playing the Lions defense in fantasy football this week.
Yeah, I also am, actually.
So I'm willing to take the Lions out of the bottom 5.
Who did you not have in? The Giants or the Texans? You didn't have the Texans with Davis Mills are
Yeah.
bottom
Texans
5.
with
With
Tyrod
Tyrod
are not a bottom 5 team, but with Davis,
You know, I can see that.
you're entitled to your own opinion, Mon. Just letting you know that. But your bottom
But
5 is
Lions
shit
at
if you
31.
don't have the Texans in it.
Lions at 31 is lunatic land.
All right, let's do top
Mon,
10
do your
because
top
that's
10.
where it'll
Do your
differ a
top
little
10
bit.
starting at 10.
Starting at 10. All right. At 10, I have the Chargers. I'm trying to think of like a really good reason why, but I just think that like the past they've been a team that like has a lot of like fucking potential.
I have them in my top 10. I have them at 9.
Okay.
So I agree with you.
I mean, they're 2-1. They lost to who did they lose to again?
Cowboys.
They
But
lost
that
to-
was
Yeah.
that was
That
like
was
a bad
it was a weird
game.
game.
See, that's the thing is like that was not a shootout, but two teams just slugging it out.
Do we
between each
think-
other.
Like, I think Staley is a good coach, and they have like good coordinators. They just need to get their penalty act together. If they can get that together,
Yeah.
like they're gonna be
There were
very good.
at one point in the game there were 6 plays, and 5 of them had flags.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
5 of them had penalties, or something like that.
Yeah.
Do you have them in your top 10?
No,
Chris?
I'm the Charger denier, but it's harder and harder to stay a Charger denier. I would put them at 11 in mine. I don't have
It's
that,
outrageous.
but I would put them at 11. All right, go ahead, Mont. Do the rest of the 9.
9 I have my Broncos. I still believe in my Broncos, and the Broncos playing
Ravens this week. Oh, who are you talking about? Last week? The Jets?
You're right. Sorry, I mixed up the weeks. Playing the Ravens this week will be the prove it game. Whether they're legit or not, or if the Ravens are legit or not, I guess.
Tell me what you guys think. I think there's something to be said. Like, the Broncos are good, right? Teddy B is not going to, like, make any mistakes. But there's something to be said about those teams that can just score a touchdown in a minute. They can score in 3 plays, 4 plays, 5 plays, right? Rams can do it. Chiefs can do it. Chargers can do it. Like, I feel like in order to be a top 10 team, you need that aspect or, like, an incredible defense. And Teddy B is not scoring in 3 plays. It's just not physically possible.
Well, I also don't have them in my top 10, but I am open to the idea that the Broncos could be a top 10 team. I'm not
Fair.
as anti
If they win this
Teddy as
week,
you are.
if they win this week, I will put them in my top 10.
I'll go ahead and fly through.
Yeah,
the
fly
rest
through
of
the
them.
rest.
Okay, so I have Browns at 8, Cardinals 7, Ravens 6, Chiefs 5, Packers 4, Bills 3, Tampa at 2, and LA Rams at 1.
Hate that you don't have the Raiders in there, but that's okay.
I have the Raiders in mine.
I hate that.
I thought about putting the Raiders in there.
I have the Raiders at 10.
It's fine.
Because
Whatever,
I
dude.
wanted them in there because they deserve to be in the top 10.
Yes.
And, like, I feel like the bottom 5 can be rearrangeable. I have Raiders at 10, Chargers at 9, Packers at 8, 7 is Cardinals, 6 Ravens. You put those in any order,
Mhm.
and I'm perfectly okay with that.
Mhm.
Kind of the same with my top 5. Like, I have the Bucks at 1, Rams at 2, Chiefs at 3, Browns at 4, Bills at 5. Right? Like, you could make a case for any of them. I would say the top 3, I have... So those 3 are interchangeable.
Wow, you
but-
still have the Chiefs at 2, huh?
Well, I meant to put
Fair.
the Rams at 2. This was my
What
list
did you
from
have the
last
Chiefs?
week.
What did you have the Chiefs at? My bad.
3. I
Okay.
set it at 3.
Interesting
but
that you
yeah.
still have it at 3. I mean, I don't know that that's wrong, but that's high for a 1 and 2 team.
I just, like, there's something to be said about the playoffs, man. Like, if you've proven it in the playoffs, like, the Chiefs have never had a great defense. And it's cost them some Super Bowls. Or, like, some
Yeah.
potential Super Bowls. Right? That's fair. But I just think they're so dynamic on offense.
Right.
And if their offensive line figures it out,
And to preface what Nock just said, we're doing top 10 team. Like, who are the top 10 teams? Not necessarily.
according to Nock, that was
Well,
the top 10 teams according
Yeah,
to
not
Nock.
like top 10 resumes, but like
Yeah.
who are the 10 best teams according to Nock. All right, I'll go mine quick. I got Chiefs 10, Cardinals 9, Packers 8.
Chiefs 10?
I think that there is a chance that the Chiefs are not as good as they this year as they have been.
As they ought to.
Okay.
There's a chance. The Chiefs.
Do you think that they won't make the playoffs?
I think that how many teams make the playoffs? More than 10. So I think that they'll make the playoffs. More than 10 teams make the playoffs. I have
In the
them at 10.
AFC 7 make the playoffs. So how many
Okay,
AFC
so,
teams do you
I've
have?
got-
All right, read your list. Sorry,
So
read your
isn't it-
list.
Isn't it 1 for each division? So that's 8 already, and then 3 from each conference for the wild.
Yeah, so 7 for me. So it's 14 teams,
make
7
the
for
playoffs.
Yeah, I have them at 10. I'm not saying.
But all right,
they're gonna
read
make
me
it.
your list. How many AFC teams?
And here's also okay. I'm gonna
Because
read
you're
them.
gonna have the Raiders.
Of course, I have the Raiders, Chiefs, Cardinals, Packers, Cowboys, Raiders, Ravens, Bills, Browns, Bucks, Rams. I don't think that
you only
that's
have
like
5. You only have 5 AFC
Where do
Yeah.
you have
teams.
Packers at?
I have them at 8.
That's
I like the Packers. I don't know. I don't know that they've looked overwhelmingly impressive yet.
You also have to think about, but with every week going by, the margin of whether you think the skill gap between the teams is going to get smaller and smaller. So like the change will be smaller.
Yeah.
Maybe the Chiefs will be my lock of the week.
I'm
this
also-
week. Maybe I need to put more money on.
I think part of it is I think that the 49ers are worse than maybe others think they are. I think they're pretty bad. And so I don't put that much stock in the Packers beating them by 3. I think they're good. I mean, they're at 8, but
Well, yeah, and okay, yeah, no, I get that. And
Wait,
but,
did
like,
anyone have the 49ers in the top 10?
no.
No, the thing is, I thought about it, but I still don't think that they're a good enough team to be in the top 10.
I
They
don't.
should have lost to the Eagles.
Yeah.
The Eagles outplayed
And the
them.
Eagles are bad.
Yeah, the Eagles outplayed them.
The Eagles are dog shit.
Like, I have faith in Kyle Shanahan, but outside of that and George Kittle,
He hasn't done anything. I'm
Yeah.
fantasy. He hasn't done anything.
I don't know that I blame him as much.
Well, I sure I'm not saying that either, but
Yeah.
but it hasn't been that impressive. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I think that we all have interesting top 10s. I like that. Did we all have Rams Bucks top 2?
Yeah, but the thing is, like what you guys discussed earlier with the Rams-Bucks game is you having one or the other on either the 1 or 2 position, it doesn't really matter because those are literally probably the 2 most complete teams in the entire NFL at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
slugging it out.
Absolutely. Yeah, that game it's a little bit inconsequential. It was fun,
Yeah,
but it doesn't really matter. So we have I think that they're actually never mind because you have the Chiefs at 3. I was going to say I think that there's a pretty easy top 5 right now, but that's not true because you guys have the Chiefs higher. All right.
Yeah,
Well, anyway, long story short on NFL, a lot of fun.
Check my picks. They're gonna come out this Saturday. They're gonna be money. The Chiefs are gonna be in it. They might be my lock.
you
they
guys
probably
should
are.
tweet your guys' top 10 and bottom 5.
Yeah, that would be fun. Maybe we should. I like that.
Just to hold ourselves accountable, I guess.
Yeah, we should hold ourselves accountable. All right, Mom, we will do that. All right, so moving off NFL, that was fun convo. Moving on to my favorite sport. My favorite sport I've realized this year, I think, for the first time ever, outside of just Virginia Tech, college football is my favorite sport of all time. I love college football. I know you guys aren't that into it, right?
I like it, especially now more that I'm like doing some bets and like that we're doing the 1 week thing and I'm holding myself accountable. I'm watching more, but yeah. It's different when you don't go to the school.
Correct. You can kind of take a step. I think when you aren't in college, obviously it was really fun going to Virginia Tech games, but I now take a step back. I think appreciate all of college football more than I think I used to.
Yeah.
But my thing about college football this season is I think. So people always say that 2007 was the most fun college football season of all time, and that's because it was just chaos the entire year because no teams were good.
Mm-hmm.
This year I think is, and I don't really remember 2007 because I was young. I think that this year is the most fun college football season that I can remember of all time because, once again, I think no teams are that good.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that?
I mean, it's definitely going to make for chaos, like, when it comes to picking a Final Four playoff.
Yeah, do you guys...
Like, Clemson's out now, right? 2 losses.
Well, that's the funny thing about it. I think Clemson actually kind of sucks, and we can talk about that. But I think I am of the opinion that college football might be so nuts this year that a 2-loss team could get in for the first time ever. I'm not saying it's going to be Clemson. But Clemson might be bad.
We'll see. This weekend's going to be big. Notre Dame, Cincinnati. Right? If Cincinnati wins,
that's a playing game.
Yeah.
Legitimately, that might be
one of those
game.
teams is going to make it and like lock up their spot.
Right. Like I think college football is incredibly exciting. But like I said, I think I could run through the entire top 10 right now, and there's like a reason why all of them aren't very good, which is cool, which is like pretty exciting. Like Alabama,
they're a lock though.
Well,
for the playoffs.
So here's what I'll say: Alabama played a game against Florida where Florida had was down 8, threw a touchdown with 30 seconds left, had a 2-point conversion to tie the game and go to overtime, and didn't complete the 2-point conversion. I don't think Florida's actually very good. So point being, I'm not sure that Alabama's that good.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia, we just mentioned how much Clemson sucks. Georgia scored 3 offensive points against Clemson, so Georgia's not that. Georgia's offense scoring 3 points on Clemson doesn't scream powerhouse to me.
I think I just put a bet on Georgia in the spread this weekend. So
well, that's fine. Who do they play? They play Arkansas, who I'll get to. They're in the top 10. They suck.
Yeah.
Oregon might not lose a game this season, but the Pac-12 sucks.
Holy shit! Clemson's 25 right now.
And they shouldn't. They don't even deserve. They don't even deserve
16.
to be ranked. Penn State at 4 is nuts. Penn State's a solid team, but they still have like one of the worst quarterbacks in Division I.
They haven't looked phenomenal, right? The problem is like Penn State and all these Big Ten teams, except for Ohio State, like they get low point total wins, and that doesn't sound good.
Correct. I think I respect Penn State. They're better than I thought they were, but Sean Clifford is still doo-doo.
I still can't believe that when I texted Chris my picks 3 weeks ago, the Penn State Auburn game, the whiteout game, I like originally had the Alabama Florida as my pick, and then last second I switched it up. I was like, you know what, that Alabama Florida one scares me. I know Penn State is a lock, and you texted me and you said ew in all caps, and you were telling me how much you hate it. And then when Penn State won, I texted you, I called you, you played dead.
I was
you didn't want to
celebrating.
answer.
I was
you
celebrating.
Didn't want to live up to.
I was
your
celebrating
shame.
love at a wedding. Sorry.
I think they would have understood.
Let's not act
They
like
would have understood.
Auburn had the ball on Penn State's 5-yard line as time was winding down. Let's not act like it was a crush.
Winners win.
Anyway, Iowa sucks. Nobody actually think Iowa's good. At 5, they're a joke. Oklahoma.
I think Iowa's not bad.
Why?
I don't know. Joel Klatt told me they were good.
So Joel Klatt's an idiot.
Yeah,
no,
Iowa's sucks off the Big Ten.
Just really quick on Iowa. They beat Week 1 a hyped up match against Indiana, 17 in the country or whatever. It turns out Indiana is like a bottom 5 team in America. I mean, that was obviously dramatic. Indiana's not that good. And then they beat Iowa State, who everybody hyped up as well. Then Iowa State goes and loses to Baylor last week. So in reality, Iowa's beaten nobody good. Iowa's a joke with a 5 seed. Oklahoma hasn't looked good yet. They're 6. They look terrible.
Can we talk about a point though that I think like we can get more into teams, but I think people might like this. How do you feel about the fact like you beat a ranked team, but then the ranked team turns out to be not that good? Like
It's interesting.
Tech versus UNC is an example. I give stock to that win, right? Because when you think you're playing somebody that's really good, like you really come out there and you try really, really hard, right? Now, if they end up not being that good, I get it, but I still think that the ranked win holds its luster, right? The opposite can be said where if you beat a team that's not ranked at the time and then they end up getting ranked, right? You give that credit.
So are you asking me if I think you should take away credit?
Yeah.
I do think you should take away credit. We now know that UNC is terrible. UNC lost to Wake Forest by like 25 and it was never close.
Yeah.
Wake Forest beat them bad, and we did not beat them bad. But anyway, moral of the story is that also really quick, I did think of something funny that you said about Tech moving into 15. So when we were West Virginia, we can talk about Tech actually now if you want. So when we played West Virginia, we were number 15 in the country. We get down to the 3-yard line, we have a chance to score. Let's say we score, right? We beat West Virginia. We limped to a win at Richmond last week. I mean, we're probably like number 10 in the country right now, which is hilarious, right?
No, I think we would have lost to Richmond.
You think so?
It's only like Sorkin brought up a good point, and it's like when Tech breaks that top 25, there's just like a switch that Whit Babcock like he flicks it on and off, and it's like okay, it's time to implode.
I agree.
Fuente is like, oh, we're rigged too high. We got to knock this down a notch. Let me do something stupid. Put in our backup quarterback to throw almost a pick six.
That was an interesting choice to say the least. But I do think it's funny to think about it. Like in theory, let's say we did score the touchdown against West Virginia, and let's say in theory we had the same outcome against Richmond. We would be 10 right now, which is would be the biggest joke of all time.
Crazy.
Let's talk about Richmond a little bit. The game. Did you guys watch the Tech Richmond game at all?
So yeah, we were together.
Oh yeah.
No, we weren't. We were together for West Virginia.
I was at bullpen when the game was happening.
I forgot you were lady.
The most frustrating thing to me about looking back at that game is the second play of the game, Richmond's starting quarterback had a 30-yard run, just gashes our defense, and we break his hand.
I bet Richmond plus 29.5. And
great bet.
And I was like, this is so sad.
I was watching with a couple of my friends, one Tech friend and two non-Tech friends, and my friend Will, who did not go to Tech, he was like, I'm watching with Tech people. We're going to a Tech bar. I'll bet on Tech just so I have something to root for. And he's just chewing my ear out all night about how bad we are. But the fact that Richmond's starting quarterback gashes our defense on the second play of the game, we break his hand. Like I think that we would have lost if he didn't get injured. I think that if we didn't have to play the back quarterback, we might have lost.
You and I talked about it. We don't agree on a lot of things all the time, but it was like mutual text, and right after he puts in Knox, and the announcers are hyping him up like Fuente said all week, like he's earned his playing time. He goes in, throws an interception, and then they score on the next play. We were both in mutual agreement that if Tech lost that game, whoever like fires people, the AD with Babcock, he has to walk down on that field and be like, Justin Fuente, you're fired. Like in the middle of everyone.
I don't even disagree. That I don't even think that's dramatic. But anyway, fuck Tech. We suck. So that's okay. I don't have to get excited anymore. Last general things about college football. Just a couple quick hitters. Wisconsin is a lock this week against Michigan. Michigan's fake. And Ohio State is a lock this week against Rutgers. I'm of the belief that Ohio State is... People wrote off Ohio State too early. They're going to make the playoff. And lastly, I think Ole Miss is going to beat Alabama. So... Those are my last college football thoughts.
If that happens, my under hits. So
under 80?
No. I have Alabama under 11.5 wins.
Do you know what the over/under is for Alabama Ole Miss this weekend?
What?
80.
Oh my god!
Isn't that crazy?
That's insane.
So I want to bring in a topic with you guys. Does this mean now that the ACC is the worst conference in the
Boston College is nice?
No, they're not. That's
that
the
win
wrong take.
Was huge for my pick.
That was a good pick.
That was huge
I'm not
for
saying
my
it wasn't
pick.
a good pick.
I was freaking out.
I didn't watch that game,
What's
so maybe
OT?
I'm wrong.
They
I know.
had it
I
locked
watched
up
it on
and they
like
let
I watched like on
Wake
my
Forest
on like
score.
Gamecast. I didn't actually watch it. Did you watch it? Like actually,
Yeah.
what? How did Boston College score 41? Did their quarterback play well?
Both teams aren't that good.
Did their quarterback play well or no? Boston
He's
College.
fine.
He's a backup. I'm
He's
kind of
fine.
curious about him.
He's
All right.
fine.
Anyway,
I don't
think
know. I
the
just think that
ACC
both teams are not that good.
I agree with that. The ACC is the worst conference in. I think they're worse than the Pac-12 this year.
Worst
One
Power
weird
Five.
thing that I think might happen. There is a very, I think, somewhat realistic chance that Wake Forest could go. I'm not going to say somewhat realistic. There's a chance I could see Wake Forest going undefeated and like accidentally making the playoff and losing by 50.
What?
Wake Forest schedule is the biggest joke of a schedule of all time. They're 4-0.
They just lost. How
No,
would
they
they make the
didn't. No, they
playoffs?
No,
didn't.
they're 4-0 right now.
They just beat UNC by 30.
They lost to Boston College though.
Wake Forest?
They didn't,
Oh, they played
no.
Missouri.
Yeah. So Wake
Wow.
Forest just beat UNC, or they beat not UNC, excuse me. They beat Virginia by 30. And some people thought Virginia was good. So they play Louisville, Syracuse, Army, Duke. Think about that. That's probably 4 more wins. They're 8-0. They're probably 8-0, 10 in the country. An ACC team that's 8-0, like 10 in the country.
Do they play Clemson?
They play UNC, NC State, Clemson, Boston College. 4 somewhat hard games.
fucking hard ass schedule.
Is it? Are any
Yes!
of those teams good?
That's 4 teams
Are
that
any
are
of those-
ranked at one point in time.
Are any of those teams good? No.
I don't know, but it's 4 teams that were
I'm
ranked at
just
one
saying,
point in time.
we could be sitting here in December or
Oh my
whenever
God.
we could be sitting here in late November and be like, holy shit, Wake Forest is 12-0. Do we have to put them in the playoff? That might be happening.
If they win the
That's how
ACC
bad.
tournament,
That's how bad
or
the ACC is.
championship.
That's how bad the ACC is. But anyway, that's all. That's my.
All right,
college
let's do
football
segment and then wrap up with fan questions. We spent too long.
rant. What we talked about college football for 11 minutes.
No, but our podcast is over an hour at this point.
all right. Well, that's fine.
Well,
all right.
we missed last episode, so we might
Yeah,
True.
they-
All right.
a little extra. long.
They're fine.
Doubleheader,
The,
you're right.
the people are fine. Just last thing in college football, it's gonna be really quick. Just UVA sucks. That's cool. UVA is really bad.
They do suck.
It's fun,
yeah.
right, guys?
Which is
We'd love
good
to
for
see
us.
that.
That means it's a lock this year for us. To be
Well, we're also
Yes,
really bad.
don't-
Let's
don't-
relax.
It's a lock.
We
Bet it now,
are
folks. Bet it now.
Virginia Tech might finish the season 3-9.
Is it at? Is it
Remember
at?
that we our
Is it
account
at
tweeted
Lane?
that?
Is it at Lane this year?
No. It's in
If anything, that
it's
could
in
be
Charlotte's.
better,
Charlotte's.
right?
I was trying to think of a joke.
We
about
run
Charlottesville.
Charlottesville though for that game though, right?
They beat us in Charlottesville. The one time.
Never mind. Fuck
The one. Hey, remember how UVA's only beat us one time in 17 years?
This is a good time to navigate to fan questions.
Oh yeah. You guys want me
Okay.
to pull that up or
Um,
Nock, do you want to do?
So I thought about it, and I think last podcast was probably a good test. The problem is like you don't have the accounts if you don't follow people.
Right.
But
So
I did pull
just
it up
just
so
give him
you
your
can
phone.
read it off my phone.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll do that.
So that
you want me to
was the
start
ones
off with-
from today. So
Do you want me to start off with those or the ones from last week?
let's just start with these
Okay.
because they're fresh, and then I'll pull.
And maybe
pull
we'll
last
do
week.
the ones that are only the good ones from last week.
Yeah, just read. If there's not any good ones, just read only the good ones.
Okay.
Because we're
We'll
already.
do all the ones from this week, but
This is like an
Yeah,
hour.
yeah,
and
yeah.
15
I'll go
minutes
through
right
the
now.
ones
We're
this
at-
week
It's
first.
fine.
And we'll start off with a banger. Bring me my money.
The GOAT.
He asks, "Will the Raiders choke their season away before or after Thanksgiving?"
It's a good question.
It depends on the schedule.
Well, so the Raiders do have
They
for the past couple
start
of years.
good. They
Yeah,
start well.
yeah, and I want to believe it's different this year because I feel like the wins have been different. I don't quote me on this.
Okay, pull up the schedule.
I'm pulling up the
Let's just
schedule.
Run through it quick.
Don't quote me on this, but I do feel like these wins this year have been
So they already have
better
3.
wins than in the years past. But good question, bring my money because they might both. All right, so we've got Chargers, Bears. So we've got
Wait,
Chargers.
All right, just say win or loss. I'm not going to dispute you on this, but I'll tally.
Chargers away loss, Bears home win, Broncos away win, Eagles home win, Giants home win. It's a pretty easy schedule.
Yeah.
So to actually answer your when's Thanksgiving? Mid November.
End of November, 20 something.
And then all right. So I've got. Hold on. I'm gonna count really quick. 3-1.
They're already at
4,
7
5,
wins. They're at 7
6,
wins.
7, 7-2, 8-2, 8-3.
Oh. what was the point of me counting then?
All right, so I have the Raiders at 8-3.
by Thanksgiving.
I have the Raiders 8-2 by Thanksgiving. They're gonna lose to the Cowboys after Thanksgiving. So after.
Okay. All right.
Bring my money 5. They're gonna blow the season after
So
Thanksgiving.
they're gonna go 1-1. So if they go 8-2, and there's 7 more games, they're gonna go 1-6. So that they're 9.
You know, I don't know
9 and
exactly
8
what it was last year, but they were
to not make
like
the
relatively significantly over 500 last year and finished 8-8. I don't remember what it was, but
Okay. Next question.
Next
Boom.
question is from at Scoop Jardine. He asks, who would win, Alabama or the Jets, with everyone wearing jeans?
I was gonna say that's a really stupid
I was
question.
gonna say the
but,
Jets, but everyone wearing jeans.
jeans isn't as big of a handicap as I need it to be to give the.
I'm gonna say Bama.
No, that's not right. Jeans
But-
aren't that big of a handicap.
You don't think
No,
when you're that athletic?
you
it
can
doesn't matter?
find. I'm not a jeans guy.
I was just gonna
but
say Saban would have them more prepared.
you can find really comfortable
with
jeans.
Okay. You're right. Brett Favre
Also,
did play a lot of
Think
football.
about
in
it. Think
jeans.
about it this. That was a good one. Think about it this way: like Alabama's, like a top 3 pick out of Alabama, maybe top 5.
Yeah.
Quinn Williams.
You're right.
Like,
You're right.
One of
It's not a
Alabama's
big
best
enough
players,
handicap.
like is a mediocre NFL player on the Jets. Like, think about it that way. They're gonna crush them.
Okay. What if we combine
Like I
the
flip-flops.
4 teams that make the playoffs this year? You combine the best players on their team in college football, and then they play the Jets in
jeans. How big of a
Well-
handicap is jeans? I don't know that that's that big of a handicap.
Well, the only thing I'm saying is like it could
No
be
leg
weird.
pads? Is
Like
that
I
more-
don't know that the Jets are going to be prepared.
Just-
I know Saban would have them prepared.
Just
in
to clear
jeans.
some confusion, because if I'm confused at the moment, maybe some of the audio listeners are you guys saying, because I know like the question is saying just the Jets have the jeans, right?
I agree.
Just
What
the
do you
Jets.
mean?
I thought that both teams.
Yeah, see, he was saying it like both teams were wearing
no.
jeans. Because he started talking about Nick Saban would find some
Yeah,
comfortable
Nick Saban would
jeans.
have prepared.
What is wrong with you?
Oh fuck.
No, I don't think that jeans are that big of a handicap. The only thing that I'm now getting confused on in my brain is, are the Jets allowed to wear pads? You know, they have leg pads. Are they allowed to wear leg pads on their jeans?
I would
Under their
Sure.
jeans?
I would assume that
Could they
would
figure
just-
it out?
It's
how
a
to?
deal with Levi's, and Levi's
Okay.
like implants
Then the Jets.
pads.
The
We don't
Jets.
want them getting hurt.
The Jets win by 30
Okay.
with jeans.
Okay.
They win by 37 with football pants.
Okay.
All right.
You say Alabama?
No,
Okay.
I changed my mind. You're right. I was being in
Okay, next question's from MMA Betting Wizard. Did at Wizard MMA, I guess he just tweeted at himself. So, did he call a plus 225 winner 3 months in advance?
Yes, you did, Wizard. I shouted you out earlier. Shut up.
See, my only problem with MMA Betting Wizard, probably a nice guy, right? But that's supposed to be a sport. I hit a plus 360 last week betting just the first 3 fights. So we're talking the fights that come on at 5 p.m.
So why
I hit those.
Why don't
3
you?
picking
Why don't you
randomly.
tweet him?
Because I picked randomly. I'm just saying picking MMA
This
is
is
not
why we're gonna.
hard,
This is
and
why
I
we're gonna
hit
have.
plus
This is why we're gonna have problems. You
Okay.
got it. Why didn't you tweet it?
I was a little tipsy, man. I
Tweet
was
it.
a little busy.
Then tweet it.
Okay. All right.
What
Next
did I say?
time.
All right, next question. This is
If I
kind
tweet
of
it, then I won't win. I want to win. I don't
No,
care.
I'm not
if other
accepting that
people
answer.
win. I want to win.
This is all about clout. Go ahead, Mike.
All right. So this next question's kind of follows up from a question from last week. Is at tpair22. I still want to know why Nock hates baseball, aka
I
America's
don't
best time.
hate baseball. Okay. I love going to games. I love watching them at the games. But will I ever watch a baseball game? Probably including the World Series, unless it was the Nats on TV. No.
Yeah, this was my fault. I told Tom that you hate baseball, and that's why we never talk about it.
I gamble on it all the time. I just don't watch the games.
Well, we talked about it today, Tom.
Yeah,
so
there
you
you
should
go.
be happy. But
like baseball.
Tom, I'm doing my
I don't
best.
love it.
I'm doing my best to bring
I'm
Nick
sorry.
along.
Punish me if you want.
That was weird.
All right.
Bonk.
The next question was from at the Real Cow Turd. He asked for your social security number, so I'm just gonna skip that one.
Skip.
I had to make those up.
Next
a lot
one's
of
from George Styles. He asked, "Why did you back out of our fantasy football trade after you said you'd accept?"
So this was after last Thursday's last Thursday's NFL game. And George didn't understand the correlation at the time. I'll pull up the old tweets, and you can read those off. The problem
Only do a
was
couple.
I was trading for Tyreek Hill, and I was trading away
Or maybe
Aaron
not.
Jones. And I do believe that Aaron Jones, after that 40-point game, like, he's never going to do that again. But I think that the value, like, he's going to end up as a top 10 running back, is more than Tyreek Hill's value as a top 5 wide receiver. And, like, Christian McCaffrey getting hurt kind of showed me, like, I have A.J. Dillon. I'm guaranteed the Green Bay Packers running back. So it's like, I'd rather just keep, having 2 solid running backs, and then I'll figure it out at wide receiver. I have a deep team, so I can figure it out, but that's why I backed out. At the time, I was about it, and then I got to thinking after football, and I can't find our tweets.
George, I'm sorry that he did this to you. I really am. It's in poor taste, and
He can
it's
get
not,
over it. My
it's
team
not
is
good.
1-2.
It's not good fantasy football ethics, and I certainly
He can
don't
get
support
over
it.
My team is 1-2. My team sucks.
I don't support it.
I have one of them pulled up.
You found
Go
them?
ahead. Yeah. So.
I got him too.
So,
just wanna cross
question
it.
from at the Juan and only. Shout out Juan. What is the worst city to be traded to?
Cleveland.
Detroit.
Cleveland.
Now,
Griffin
to get
spent
creative,
a summer, 2 summers in
I,
Detroit. He said he liked it. But he doesn't live there now.
I don't buy that. Also, to get a little, so those are like the ones that have the 3 major or 4 major sports teams or whatever. Getting a little bit more creative, like thinking about the ones that have only like 1. Maybe Oklahoma City.
Oh.
And maybe like Columbus.
You're right. Oklahoma City would be the worst.
I'm trying to think. Oklahoma City, Columbus. Is there any other particularly bad ones? Like one
Oklahoma
sport
City
team?
is definitely the worst.
Maybe
Columbus. Where's that?
What do you mean? Where's Columbus?
Ohio.
You don't know where Columbus is? That's crazy.
Is it in Ohio?
Yeah, that's.
Then I do know where
that's
Columbus
crazy.
is.
Do you know what college is in Columbus?
Ohio State.
That's crazy that you didn't know that, right? Did you know Columbus was in Ohio, Mont?
Mhm. Central Ohio.
All right,
That's
so you
a
have Ohio
ridiculous-
State. So then Columbus isn't the worst.
Cleveland's
That's-
on the one of the lakes, right?
Yeah, I would rather live in
Cincinnati-
Cleveland than Columbus.
Cincinnati.
What else is bad? Is there any other like one-off sports leagues that are really bad? Or one-off?
Oakland?
I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Winnipeg.
Yeah, Oakland's not a
Where
great
the heck
one.
is Winnipeg?
Yeah, kind of.
That's in
yeah,
Canada.
yeah. I don't know that I
Like,
want Winnipeg.
Canada sucks outside of like Ontario, Vancouver, like the main
You're not gonna mention
Toronto.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quebec. Maybe.
Yeah. All right. So
But they don't have sports
we've got our major sports towns and then our smaller
Yeah.
sports towns. That was good. Yeah.
I'll save Ryan's for the last one. This one's from Ryan Tepper. You guys can get into this. What's Mike Williams' fantasy trade value?
We already said this. Huge. Top
Yeah,
10 receiver.
it is-
He's gonna be
It is
top
huge now.
It
top
is-
20
Last
for the
week
year
it
is
was
an
debatable.
absolute lock.
It is-
most likely a top 10. He's better than Keenan Allen this year.
It is huge.
Keenan Allen's washed.
Mike Williams has been very impressive, but no, Keenan Allen's still going to be better. We'll bet. I don't know. We'll bet $20 on it. I don't know. I think that's what we bet last time, actually.
Yeah.
In the deleted episode.
Mike Williams is going to be better. So it's huge. So, Tepper, you lost your chance. I'm not even trading him now because now I have 3 top 20 wide receivers, so you're fucked. I'm 3-0 in that league. Tepper had a
Alright.
chance to join me at 3-0, and he blew it because he didn't accept that trade.
Okay, there were other questions from last week, but we kind of have to sift through for time.
Yeah, just do one more.
So
We're
the
at an
last
hour
one was
and a
from
half.
Ryan Rawson, and his question was, when do I get my hangout prize from episode 10?
Oh, no.
That's your answer.
Shout out Ryan, first of all.
Let's golf and bring some topo.
Yep, that was a good reminder because we do owe Ryan a shout out for doing that. I don't know that we ever properly did.
No.
Ryan won our contest. He was the first one to listen to the episode and share it. And we told him that the winner of that competition gets a free hangout with Nock, Crisp, and Mont, plus a free case of Topo Chico. So maybe the 4 of us will play a round of golf, like you said. Nock. That'll be fun.
Lesson to everyone listening to this podcast. Share the podcast. You might get a prize. You might get a shout out. Share it on Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. Takes 2 seconds.
Yeah, we might do some more
Share.
giveaways. We might do some
Facebook.
more giveaways. But Ryan, to answer your question, thank you for doing that from the bottom of my heart. And we'll do it. How about within
Shout out 1, 2, 3, 4.
pre Halloween? Deal?
Lock it.
All right, pre-Halloween. That's my promise to you. All right, that's it for questions, right?
Yeah.
All right. That's all we've got. So, Nock, any?
Good to be back.
Great to be back. Any closing thoughts? No. All right. Well, it was fun. I hope this was a good
Mont
episode.
yelled at me drunk 2 weeks
really?
ago about the podcast. We had a heart-to-heart about it. So we're going to try and do more episodes if we don't fuck it up again.
Yeah, now that football's in full swing, I think we can really get back into it. I don't know. I mean, we kind of just rambled on football for a while, but that's what we like.
We'll get a
We
guest.
like football.
We'll make it a
That's what
recurring
we
guest.
do. That's what we do best is football. So we had a lot of fun with it. I think we'll just keep going on this football train. Hopefully you guys like it.
Tweet at us if you want us to talk about specific things.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to do entertaining things. So if you don't want us to just talk about football all the
We
time,
make
let us
up
know.
the agenda by what we want to do, what our guest wants to do, and
Yeah.
what we think people like. So
Yep. So that's it for this week. Appreciate you listening. We got picks dropping Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Actually, you might want to tail us because we're kind of hot as a group.
if you don't want to tail us, bring me my money.
Yeah, bring me. I mean, much as I hate to say it, +9 units in 3 weeks is actually impressive.
I'm not gonna hate on it because I
Um,
like to make money, but I'm never gonna
And
bet his
not
college football
yeah,
picks.
+9
again.
units
I'll
on
tell you
only
that.
6 bets a week.
You kind of know college football, but God, bring me my money, and Bookie Tusser know dog water about college football. Oh my God.
I love that. I'm gonna tell him you said that.
NFL, bring me my money is an absolute lock, but all right, that's it.
All right.
Let's end it.
All right, so that's it. Thanks for listening. Share it if you want, like it if you want. See you guys hopefully next week.